Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth, to you I say Shalom. This is Amatazar from the Chicago camp coming back at you again with another lesson entitled, What Do You Do After You've Met the Prophets? So some years back, Tucker Carlson actually met the prophets. Okay. All right. He met the men of the Great Millstone, specifically Apostle Tahar. I believe Apostle Rakar was in that video as well. And they recognized him. All right. He walked up, and of course, he was raised up as a Christian. And then Apostle Tahar started cutting him. Basically let him know that if he was an Edomite, he was going into slavery. And he said, "Why am I going into slavery?" Kind of reminded me on Trading Places. Trading Places. I forgot the character. You know, he just reminded me of him. He said, "Why am I going into slavery?" And so, but as he began to listen to Apostle Tahar, you could see the wheels turning in his head. Well, fast forward it to today, okay, because that video was more than 10 years ago, I believe. Fast forward today, he on a mission. He can't sleep at night. The word then cut him, all right, in the spirit, right? The word cut him up good. He need to know who the real Jews are, who the real Israelites, to the point such that he told Huckabee, "Why don't y'all just take a DNA test? What's stopping y'all from taking a DNA test?" Oh yeah, he asking the right questions to the right people. Okay, not sure what it's going to do for his career. All right, but either way, um, the fire was lit. Let's put it that way. Okay, this is Hebrews 4:12. It says, "For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do." All right, so whatever covering or whatever mental covering, okay, emotional personality covering that you have, the word cuts right through that and lays everything open and bare. And you can't argue against this word, although people will try to get you to use your own vain opinion, all right, and veer away from the scriptures. But it's really, really hard to argue against, okay, the oracles of the Lord, these scriptures. All right, this is Psalms 50:16. It says, "But unto the wicked, the Most High said, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou should take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentedst with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. That thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes." Okay? All right, so in the book of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, it talks about the valley of dry bones, okay, which is represented by America. And it talks about the whole house of Israel, all the bones coming together, the bones and the sinews and the tissues and the muscles and everything. All right. The Lord said to Ezekiel, "Can these bones live again?" Okay. All right. So the whole house of Israel, all right, is being set in order. All right, they set in order. The breath has been blown into them, and they're out on the corners, prophesying the downfall of this kingdom, okay, and the coming judgment. All right, and so Israel is being told their sins, and the heathen are getting their judgment. And when you have these heathen come up and they hear this word, and they hear the judgment, and they hear about the upcoming slavery, okay, it cuts them to the heart. Okay. All right. This is Revelation 11 and 11. It says, "And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them." All right. And that great fear is what's driving, okay, Tucker Carlson to ask these hard questions, okay, on television mediums, okay, asking, asking, um, asking. Basically, I mean, no holds barred, okay. He's asking. Some would say the wrong questions to the right people, okay, but he's actually asking the right questions. All right. So great fear has fallen upon these people. Um, we're getting closer to the end, and they can see it, they can feel it. You know, hey, they don't want us to be the Israelites, okay? They don't want it to be true, but it doesn't matter. You know, when you open up these scriptures and you start seeing all of these scriptures that deal with captivity and slavery, um, uh, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that Jeremiah 30:16. When all these scriptures start coming out, it makes it clear, right, that there's going to be a major, major payback. And that's what Esau is hoping won't happen. But you hope all you want, bro. All right. So with that, I pray that this lesson was edifying. This has been What Do You Do After You've Met the Prophets? Until the next one, Shalom.